Welcome to the Reiki Healing Hope Community, a place to heal, relax, be yourself, and be surrounded by those who want to see you blossom and or bloom. I am Jessica Sup, a Reiki master teacher and intuitive, and today we have a special healing session. It is all about internal balance. It's all going to be about internal balance, the self. Don't get caught up about how things look like in the external, or even your partnerships externally. This is a moment to really go inside and work on the self. So just work on that balance. The rest of the world can be doing whatever, but the priority at this moment is not to make yourself feel better on the inside by controlling the outside, but to flip it, to work on the inside and just be like, hey, however the outside looks, that's that problem. I'm going to work on here in this moment instead of trying to externalize things first or project. So if you're new to the community, welcome back, babies. This is your nightly self-care routine. Or if you're returning, welcome back. It's your nightly self-care routine where we come and we kiki from time to time, do healing, do relaxation, beautiful self-encouragement, self-healing, self-space, self-talk, all of that positive, just calming time, and, no time like the present to enjoy a beautiful relaxation, okay? So let's just start here by balancing your energy. And using the hands allows you just to work with the aura, your protective layer, and to release and relax and let go. If you'd like extra support, you can also join our inclusive community on Patreon. And if you're interested in becoming a Reiki practitioner, trainings are available with the link in the description box. Back to our regularly scheduled programs. Just going back to balance this energy. Relax. Relax. Trust. Believe. Have faith in yourself. Believe that there's more than this moment. Believe that there is a greater beauty in what you're experiencing than pain or discomfort or dis-ease when we have this accumulation of issues within our body that show up as illnesses. So let's just keep this moving. Keep this moving, keep this moving, keep this flowing. Okay, so checking in with you. How are you? How has everything been? I'm going to continue to work on this, but go ahead and tell me in the comment section how things have been going for you. Just to move through this energy. A lot. And let's just balance you down. So I'm going to place my hands on your feet, or a representation of the root chakra, and I'm going to push it down because I want you to know that you are safe, you are protected, you are supported, but you are safe, protected, and supported within yourself. Does that make sense? It is not the external, but it is the internal, that you show up each and every day to be there for yourself and to help yourself. So I'm going to push that all the way down and start to feel your feet rooted to the earth, or whatever is accessible to you in the moment, feeling it rooted to the earth, and start to pull up nutrients from the center of the earth. And so pulling up nutrients from the center of the earth is a representation of balance, of having all of your basic needs be met, of relaxation, of abundance, of emotional balance, of being surrounded by the correct support system. Okay? And just sit in this moment with yourself and start to just move the energy around you so that you are surrounding yourself is actually good for you, as opposed to just looking for something to make you feel better in the moment. Being uncomfortable is okay. Live in the discomfort. Pay attention to what is coming up for you, and then make movement towards something that's balanced. But don't be too afraid of the discomfort. It's okay. Just live in it, okay? And balance. Now, always making sure you are surrounding yourself internally first by the energy that supports you on this journey. If you know you're a little sensitive, surround yourself by sweetness. If you know you're hard, surround yourself by energy that will keep you balanced. Just continue to move forward in your path. You can't get it wrong. Okay. And so balancing this and moving through the different chapters in your life, from the beginning all the way to the beyond, and just seeing how they flow together beautifully and peacefully without any hiccups or disconnect. We go through things in life that we don't even feel like are connected, and once you look back, you see how everything is connected. How you feel energetically matches how you feel financially, matches how you feel emotionally, matches how you feel mentally, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on. Everything touches each other. So let's just make sure that the energy is nice and balanced here, and that you release and let go of anything that is no longer serving you. Relaxing into this moment of gratitude, relaxing into this sense of peace and calm, relaxing into this understanding, relaxing into it. You are enough, and you can trust yourself. It is safe to trust yourself. It's safe to trust yourself in these moments. It's safe to trust your path. It's safe to trust yourself. Trust yourself, it's okay. Never desert yourself. Never give up on who you are. Be unapologetically you, okay? And over time, everything works out in the way that it needs to work out. Over time, not instantly, not tomorrow, not in 2 hours. Over time, baby. Give that months and years. And it's okay, because beauty forms. Being able to let things go. Being able to release things. Not letting things impact you or bother you. Not walking around with a heavy spirit. Needing to unload, to release, to just be. Let it go. 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 No judgment. Don't judge yourself during this process. Let it go. So go ahead and take some deep breaths. Inhaling, exhaling, and let it go. Moving through the rhythm that is you, your energy, your balance, and connecting with what makes you beautiful, energetically stable, calm, I'm being very gentle with the energy because there's no need to rush. There's always a sense of wanting to rush something. No need to rush. This time we're going to just take our time, discovering new things about ourselves and what's important and how we want to approach things and how to be at peace and just being transparent with yourself. You know, the only person that you have to 100% be honest with at all times is yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Show up and be there to nurture your feelings, nurture your experiences, be understanding of how life unfolds. Because if you can't do that for yourself, you're constantly going to be looking for someone else who can. And you ain't never gonna find it, baby. You're never going to find it outside of you. During this period of energy, it's giving us an opportunity for everything else to be shaken up like a snow globe, so that we can focus on the only thing we really have control over, which is our internal peace, our internal balance, and just being there in that moment, being able to be vulnerable with yourself, being able to just hold this position with no judgment, with no need to force yourself or anything around you to look or act or be a certain way. Just calmly accept yourself. Calmly accept all of the beauty the universe sends to you and the lessons too. And receive it. 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 And then eventually you'll hit maybe something that is a sore spot for you. And just breathe in it. It is not to freak you out. It is not to make you rush to try to figure out how to make yourself feel better. Just breathe in it. Because the more you breathe in it and you resolve what is coming up, the better you are later on, so that it doesn't impact you in the same way. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comment section if it makes sense. So again, just this gentle energy. That's what's really lovely about Reiki. It is very gentle. And this is definitely a time for that gentle energy. Never be afraid energetically to confront your greatest fears, discomfort, dis-ease, dissatisfaction, whatever it is. Never be afraid. And know that as you confront things, it feels shitty. I'm not even gonna front with you and lie. It feels shitty. It feels exactly how you would expect it to feel. But the longer you are able to just stand in the space, start to correct and recalibrate things, the less power the energy has over time. It feels very strong in the moment. But over time, standing in it, it does not. It releases. It can't hold on to a bind that long because the strength has been built up every time that you allow your fear to win of something. You allow it to win. It gets a little stronger, it gets a little stronger. But that strength is only by a little bit of energy, so that when you try to confront it again, it feels very powerful. But it won't last long. So breathing in the moment. A lot of times people feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not balanced. I'm, losing my mind. I can't do yourself the greatest amount of compassion and understanding, your soul elevates, your soul grows, your soul moves forward, and it changes your trajectory, it changes your life, because you no longer attract those kind of patterns, and they begin to remove themselves from your life. So just breathing in here, exhaling, removing any energy that is no longer serving you or making you feel less than, making you feel unimportant, making you feel like you are not loved, or that it's just happening to you. Baby, it's happening to everybody. And that discomfort isn't a sign that something is wrong. Discomfort is an opportunity of growth and compassion within yourself internally. You're never really wrong. You're not. You're never really wrong about how you're sensing or perceiving things. But it's time to change your criteria so that you see things in a different light. Let's move this through. Balancing this energy, flowing in the direction it needs to flow in, moving. And in these moments, I just want you to say to yourself, I love you. Put your name in, so I'll say Jessica. I love you, Jessica. And if your name is Jessica, I love you, Jessica. If your name is Jet, I love you, Jet. Just say to yourself, I love you. I love you. You know, if you have to say it to yourself as many times as you need to in the day, say it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Just show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. And again, unapologetically be you. So let's just check in on this energy and see how this balance is. See how this growth is. Let's relax into this. Let's release anything that is no longer serving. And let it go. Cannot say how much I am proud of you. So happy for all that you do as you continue to prioritize your self-care, practice, and journey. So let's get started. So we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a collective and a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I touch you? Okay. So just breathe in and out there. Relax. Really, really relax here. Okay. Okay. Breathing. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So first, let's just breathe in and out. You know, with this shift in energy and more deep conversations, intricate conversations, just to the deepest depth of who you are. You've learned a lot of things about yourself. And when it comes to growth, lessons that growth can teach us is learning how to be compassionate towards ourselves during those moments where we are uncertain, where we are not sure how things will turn out, but yet having faith that everything will be okay. Now, typically, that's when someone moves to their spiritual or religious practice. Again, this is a inclusive community, and I don't say to believe in a certain thing or not a certain thing. It's up to you to define how you want to understand this beautiful mystery out here. But for those who do have some type of connection to spiritual or religious, those are the times where you lean in during growth. And if you don't have that connection, whatever your understanding is of reality, lean into that. What it is a vibrational state. So if you're new to the community, I often talk about vibrational states. And what I try to explain with vibrational states is that we are all vibrating. So it's a representation of the energy we're at. And a lot of us don't or are not aware that we are coming off energetically a certain way. We may have the intentions to come off another way. We may, try on the outside to look another way, but we're vibrating at a different level. So this energetic vibration is 100% your responsibility to be aware of and to regulate. No one can look at you and be like, that's what's going on. Only you can truly know what's going on within yourself. So if there's things that you want, if you're looking for the love, if you're looking for the dream, the goal, the passion, journey as they were on the journey. And that's hard. That's really hard to do, to believe 100% in what you want, but also be able to navigate the obstacles as they come. And to share that along your journey, not to be afraid of growing in front of others, in front of yourself. You know, a lot of times we're afraid of our own power. So don't be afraid of your power. Every time you look at yourself in the mirror, see what other people see. See the energy that is really there. Because 9 times out of 10, what you could look at and think of like, and someone else is looking like, dang, how are they doing that? How are you doing that? You're amazing. You gotta act like it, okay? So just shifting this out. And how are you? You all know it is non-stop November, baby. You know. That's why we had to start with growth and learning how to do it fun. Don't burn yourself out. That's not important. It's not about a hustle culture. What it's about is really connecting with that vibrational energy that is best for you and riding that wave. And you know what it feels like? It feels like peace, balance, choices. It doesn't feel like fear. It doesn't feel like desperation. And switching yourself off from that fear, desperation, I gotta do this because I'm afraid this and that happened. Turning that off and turning on the, oh, that's just peaceful. Oh, wow, that's really easy. It's going to be a hard transition because you start to think about all the times you made things harder on yourself than you needed to. But that's okay, because that's what growth and wisdom and all that stuff is about. Follow the path of peace. Follow the path of peace. This will look real sexy. You know, the other path will look real like tumultuous ups and downs. Go ahead and let that go. Follow the path of peace, because if you truly care about your dreams, your hopes, your desires, whatever it is you want to go in, follow that path. You know, life will give you enough obstacles as it is that you need to overcome. You don't have to be in this weird energy over here, you know what I'm saying? So, just breathing in. So I want you to take a couple breaths, breathing in this new experience, this new life, this new understanding, this balance, this clarity, this sincere compassion towards what you deserve, where you are going, and what is in front of you. It is this unconditional love that the universe has for you, that more importantly you have for yourself, or whatever your connection is, or how you want to say it. But it is just this unconditional love you have for yourself. Better than, you know, romantic, better than your parents' love for you. It is the highest form of love that you can have. And it will feel So, as we start off our session, we start off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. I also notice like I talk with my hands and I'm like, okay, so let's go ahead and get into that. Take a couple deep breaths. May I touch you? Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. Relax, relax. Okay. And for those who are interested in becoming Reiki practitioners, Reiki master teachers, ultimately, I do have courses and you can find that information in the description box. Okay, so shifting this energy through and relaxing. Find yourself grounding down in that. Just going to remove any extra stuff that's taken up too much space, okay? Or clouding your energy. I'm just gonna smooth it away, okay? Moving it through. Okay. Got it. I just try to have fun with you. That's the only thing that's really important when it comes to life, just having fun. So smoothing this away and moving that from left to right. I'm gonna go a little bit slower just to give you an opportunity to just be balanced in that. I'm just gonna scan to see if there's any collective messages. Now, you all already know that each and every one of us has our own individual story with its own unique path. So the messages that come across for the collective, it's something that we all experience as a collective. So very general, very high view messages, okay? So what's coming across is information about 2020 and the impact that 2020 made on the collective and a need for collective healing. So as you are going through life in your individual life, you have to heal, and the only way to heal is to face the fear. 2020 created an environment of huge uncertainty. So now the body is used to being uncertain. And though it can take an action, it's a little nervous, like a little scared, like, oh my gosh, should I actually do this? Should I actually do this? Yes, do it. The only way that you're going to be able to heal from that impact, that collective impact that we all faced, is to face the fears and to renorm yourself into something new and something different. And that's, baby, that's just what came up, okay? So let me see. So I'm gonna go in with some cinnamon and just feel that around a little bit. Okay. Got it. So just having that cinnamon all around your energy. And just, you can follow that there. You get it a little bit higher than that. And just breathing in and out through the session. Not requiring more than you need to. And just allowing yourself to build yourself up. Build yourself up into the moment, okay? And surrender to all of this beautiful, beautiful energy that you are surrounded by. Relax into that reality. Relax into that norm. Relax into that certainty. Relax into that consistency. And just be at peace with that. So when you're making progress, okay, whatever it is you want to do. Progress takes time. Progress takes patience. And are you going to be patient enough to get to your end goal? On top of progress naturally taking time and taking patience, you also have to face anything that you might be facing internally and just showing up head on as well. It's more courageous in the big picture to show up when you're afraid and get it accomplished than it is to show up when you're very confident and you have everything figured out. That's really when you build character. Also, it's really when you level yourself up. Because if you're comfortable in what you're doing, you're not really growing or expanding. You're just doing what you already know very well. But when you take yourself to another level and have to learn how to acclimate, that is that energy that surrounds you and gives you an opportunity to grow and expand into bigger spaces. Sometimes you just gotta let it be. So I'm gonna smooth it just to left and right and just work through that energy. And I want you to feel balanced. Baby, feel peaceful, okay? Know that you are loved. Know that you have everything that you need. Know that everything is for your highest vibrational good. Know that you are so beautiful, so talented, okay? And that the path is a path worth going after. If it's in your heart, you should go after it, okay? If it is in your heart, you should go after it. And as time progresses, I don't even know if the answer is work on your confidence and then you'll be able to do it. I think maybe the answer might be just do it anyway. Do it even if you're scared. Do it even if your knees are shaking, just do it, Not to sound like an ad, but just do it, honestly. And the rest will figure itself out. So just moving through the energy here. And every time you exhale, release and let go. Removing and letting go of anything that's no longer serving you. Remaining balanced in your energy. Surrendering to the reality of your greatness and your purpose and your growth. Growth and expansion, it can be uncomfortable. Think about when you are having a growth spurt, when you're growing up. What do? You're probably tired, moody, you sleep a lot because the body is doing a lot of expansive work. Ultimately, you're going to get to a bigger place, a taller place, a more grown-up place. But when it's happening, it's not like, oh, this feels great. It's like your body is literally stretching itself. So internally, as we do the work and we go into new spaces that are new to us, it's the same thing. It's going to feel uncomfortable. Feel this moment in this period of your life as a blessing. Because if you show up, even if you're scared, and do these things that life is pulling you in that direction to expand you out, you're setting yourself up for a new vibrational direction. And why not be there, Why not surrender to that? So I'm just going to remove any just old stuff. Because there might be this thought that maybe you want to go back to being someone you used to be. And there's nothing wrong with picking up old things that you put down and you want to, try it again. But also surrendering to the fact that you are a new person. And the old person may have seemed very secure and knew what was going on in the new person's trying to figure it out. That's not true at all. The old person knew its surroundings, but this new person is actually better. If this new person went back in time to be with the old person, they would be at a different level. You're at a better stage now in life where you're at than where you were then. And it might feel tough to see that, but you are. So balancing this here. Shift this energy and this focus section is here for you. So feel free to use it as a diary, a journal, a place to just remember moments that were important for you if anything comes up, as well as to share your gratitude and encouragement with others. And if you want to kind of go above and beyond, head on over to the gratitude community, which is a running wall of gratitude, and it really will change your vibrational frequency by just reading some of that beautiful stuff there. Okay, moving through this energy. Moving through this energy. Moving through this. And of course, all that information is in the description box. Duh, where would it be, you know, like. Okay. Moving that. Moving that. Moving that. Moving that. So I want to calibrate you in a frequency that allows you to just go forth. To surrender to the universe, surrender to your understanding, surrender to your life purpose, and just go forth. So 3 deep breaths for me. 2 more. Final breath. Okay, release and let go. It's like I feel like a thickness, let me connect to actually understand what's going on. It comes off like a thickness, almost like a protective layer, you know, between you and the outside world. And it's kind of this collective experience. I could say that it feels like people are being cautious, but I don't think that's it at all. I just feel like it's like this deep need of protection, you know, to not feel that you were as vulnerable as you were before and just susceptible. But the thickness is not like hard skin, a hard shell. It's like the formation of that. It's the beginning stages, the foundational stages. And there's nothing wrong with healthy boundaries, good structure. But also, I don't want you to stop life because you're too afraid of the moments that are challenging or difficult. Because sometimes scraping our knee or our toe or, you know, something like that is a part of the process. We learn a lot from that. And I'm curious. Now I'm kind of stuck in the energy, y'all. I'm curious on what we should do with it. Like, should we move it out? Should we leave it? You know what? I'm going to let you decide as an individual if you want to take some more time and just still be in the moment of your energy and say, hey, I need a little bit more time before I get out there. Feel free to do that. If you're like, fuck that, I'm ready to move on, we're going to move and shift that energy and, you know, whatever else combination in between. So just breathing in here and allow that energy to move up in the body and down the body. Up the body and down the body. And as you exhale, release. You can also release through the crown and release that energy and allow it to move wherever it needs to go. Now, as we're releasing this energy, it puts you in an opportunity to bring and manifest a lot of things coming into your life. So do not get afraid of the opportunities that show up, even if you feel like they're too big for you. Do not get afraid. Just do it. If it shows up in your life and it is a great opportunity, go for it. You will be just fine. Okay? And just know that whatever your big picture goal is, whether it is a feeling or just hopefully getting to a certain place in life, you will get there. It just takes time, and that's completely okay, okay? It just takes time. It takes time. Okay. Okay. So, working that energy and shifting it. A couple more breaths here. Letting it go. Releasing it. And when you release it, you're releasing any blockages, and you're going to receive those opportunities in front of you. instructions that work best for it, okay? Okay. And just moving that energy. And I just want to see if there's any more collective messages. I think we're good for now. Peace is always an important part, protecting your peace and being in a peaceful state. But I think that was the only thing that it was this very thick energy that was almost like a wall preventing you from moving forward. But it was something that it was a bit self-inflicted by the collective in order to protect itself. So kind of like protective cushioning to not be hurt again or to not feel so vulnerable or exposed, but also know that like the fortress you build also doesn't allow you to expand because you're too busy being on the inside. Okay, so let's just smooth over your aura, okay? And seal you with the sign of the infinity. And say, well, family, you did a fantastic job. I just want you to know to take your time going for and towards the things that are important to you. Never be afraid to outgrow your surroundings. Never be afraid to outgrow your own beliefs about yourself. But also know that progress takes time. It takes patience. True success when it comes to things that you authentically want, it requires a sense of maturity. It may take a while for it to come, and being able to surrender to that fact is one of the most healing things that we all can do on this journey in love. So if you're new to the community, welcome babies. This is your nightly self-care routine, and if you're returning back, Mama loves you. So happy that you have had this space and that you show up each and every day as you work on yourself and do whatever you need to in the space. As you know, I'm paid in smiles. So at times I am cheesy and honestly corny. So it just is what it is. You gotta work with me and I'm gonna work with you. But a lot of that is because we deal with such deep stuff. And I think a part of the healing process is finding a lightness in things sometimes when you're so deep into something that everything just feels like it's weighing you down. But when we take this weight off, sometimes we look at life and we're like, this shit was funny, okay? Like how this all played out, So as we start our session, we start off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I touch you? Okay, go. So take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Just placing this right on your forehead. Just like a little kiss on the forehead. So breathe in and out. Okay. You ready? Okay. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay. So I'm just going to start by just relaxing you a little bit here. And so these hand positions are called Metatron hand positions. And so usually you'll see me in sessions just going back and forth, and that in general is just to relax you. But there's particular things that I will do that are Metatron hand healing positions. And so the plucking, the poking, the chopping, and the movement, they're just different hand position options that if you are energy healing practitioner or you're practicing on yourself, you can definitely utilize those to clear out the energy, as well as, there's infinite tools that we use in our tool belt. So for all my Reiki practitioners, energy healing practitioners who are either a part of the certification or a part of the Patreon community, these are a part of the many things that we're always talking about. Shout out to those. If you want to learn more, look at the description box, okay? Shameless plug. We have a good time here. So just breathing through here. And so just going to start to move this energy through. And let's go ahead, inhale, exhale as I lift and let go. 2 more, inhale, exhale as I lift and let go. Final breath, inhale, exhale as I lift and let go. Good job. Good job, Glen Coco. And none for Gretchen Wieners. Just breathe in here and just moving through this energy. So occasionally I'll do readings of the collective energy, or if there's any insights that come up. You know me, baby, I'm gonna be chit-chatting, but I mostly use the time to just help create a space of comfort, help create a space of just relaxation and just allow you to be kind and compassionate towards yourself. That's the only thing we can really do. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's just to move this energy through. And then of course, I keep it real from time to time, as I am. So just breathe in and out. So just going to let go of any karmic patterns or karmic debts that you may have been holding on to in this experience or previous experiences. And as you all know, if you're new to the community, I am not going to tell you what to believe in, okay? I don't like culty things. I'm like, I'm all about the individual. You figure out your own shit. I will say this, I'm not going to tell you what to believe in, but I will facilitate a space, a collective space, a space where we all can coexist, so that you just bring your knowledge and you practice however you want to, but still have that sense of community without like the dogma or feeling like you gotta do it this way. Baby, however you're doing it, sweetheart, is completely fine. We all change. I hope to continue to change indefinitely. Okay, sweet pea, let's just move through this energy and just let go of that. And sometimes we might be miscategorizing things. So we think it's one thing and really in reality it's another thing. Like you might think something is love, but really it's addiction. And that might just be the vocabulary you have, that what is an addictive quality or trait of something. Addicted to a substance, or more appropriately for love, addicted to a person, or a set of dynamics that you have with other people. Regardless of what that is, always be able to be vulnerable enough with yourself to, take audit and make sure that the way that you love yourself and you are putting love out there in the world is for your highest vibrational good only, and for your healing, and just understand what was good for you maybe a long time ago is no longer good, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it wasn't good for you back then. Maybe it does, sometimes we gotta show up or have shown up, to make peace with the past, to thank it for what it gave you during those times, to release and let it go, and to make peace with, you may not have this full new thing, but you have infinite, uninterrupted space to grow into. And now you can grow into whomever you need to be. And you can be the type of love that you truly want to see. And you demonstrate to others the type of love that you truly want. And you have healthy boundaries, which are very important. And it looks all kinds of ways on the outside. Some people might not like it. Some people might be so proud of you. Sometimes you feel like you're falling off, and then someone will tell you, hey, you're actually like really inspirational. And you're like, okay, because of the way that you're handling something, even though it's hard for you, you're doing the work. And also just kind of a rule of thumb, or just something to be mindful of. When we do light work, which is manifesting and bringing things into our life, our body has to be at a state of gratitude. So that's our vibrational state. When we do shadow work, our body has to be at a state of vulnerability. And vulnerability makes us feel internally, emotionally naked, energetically, spiritually, like naked. You just feel very vulnerable. But it is in that space that you can go in and do that shadow work and do that deep healing. So this time period has brought up a lot of opportunity to go in and do that deep healing. And it's okay if you didn't, answer or react to everything in the way that you wish that would be perfect. I think however you reacted is a demonstration of the work that needs to be done, or the patterns that you're moving away from. And so because it exposed it, now you can clean it up and let it go. And so a part of that is I want you to just take that energy and let it move on, and fall in love with the person you're becoming, not who you were. And that means letting go of people that are no longer serving you, and that you all are no longer purposeful at this point in your connections, as well as embracing who you are becoming. Even if you don't know 100% yet what that looks like, that's okay. It's okay. Also understanding that everything is purposeful, and showing appreciation for all the wisdom you learned, and just relaxing and releasing all of that stuff that's no longer serving you, and finding peace in your heart for the true beauty that you are, and that you have, and that you hold, and you occupy space. And also give yourself space to change. Sometimes people won't let you change, or you won't let yourself change. I don't always want to externalize things and be like, it's something outside of you that's making life hard. Sometimes it's something inside of us, and then we're interpreting what is outside of us as making it hard. So give yourself space, give yourself compassion, give yourself patience, give yourself whatever you need in the moment to be able to release the weight. And now just allow the body to become lighter and lighter with there's always opportunities to grow. And, we learn a lot by, rightfully so, finding compromise in spaces of a collective, of, partnership and things like that. But more than anything, you never want to betray yourself in love. You never want to let go of the love that you have for yourself. At the first and the top, you should unconditionally love yourself, and then everybody else follows underneath. Do not put someone else above you. And you'll know by the fact that you just won't accept certain things, even though people aren't like bad. Everybody's, doing their own kind of thing. But if it's not gonna work out, it's not gonna work out, and you make peace with that. But at the end of the day, you have to 100% make it work out with yourself. You have to 100% show up for yourself. You have to 100% be loving towards yourself. And that's on period, baby. Sweetheart, that is on. You know what I'm saying? So take a couple more breaths here, okay? And good job. I'm proud of you, babies. And what I'm going to do is I am going to seal you up, smooth over your aura, and seal you with the sign of the infinity and say, if no one has said it, just let all that old stuff go. Give yourself permission to move on. It's about time that you get to win, you feel me? And it's about time you get all the love, respect, patience, space, money, resources that you need to feel good. Take care of yourselves, really, because if you don't do it, no one else will be able to. And last but certainly not least, wash your hands for at least 30 seconds. Yup, don't touch your face. Wear a mask in public and get vaccinated, and be sweet to yourself. I love you, love you, love you, love you. Cannot wait until next time, but until then, babies, bye. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, but like my neighbors are like jamming. They're like jamming. So my thing is like, okay, so y'all just go jam like this. Okay, now I wonder, is this how I sound? Because I don't typically hear anything, you know what I'm saying? But now I feel like I'm that neighbor. Wow, I should be more mindful, maybe.